Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel they've gotten
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile in your face. You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead. Every week. You know, when Epstein was alive, nobody cared about him. When he's dead, they care about him. But it's really a Democrat problem. It's not a Republican, it's a Democrat problem. The only problem Republicans have is that we have to get back to, number one, running our country, and then number two, very importantly, letting the public know what a great job we're doing.
You've heard the expression, a hit dog will holler? Well, it applies here. And just as a quick aside here, I know that we're in a post-woke world, but I refuse to accept that telling women that they ought to smile more should be normalized. In the year 2026, maybe females would smile in Trump's presence more if he wasn't engaged in a cover-up for a pedophile with whom he was implicated. Maybe women would smile more for him if his name wasn't in those files countless times. Maybe women would smile more for him if he didn't have a long, sordid history of allegedly harassing, abusing, assaulting, and raping women. Until then, maybe he should focus less on what other women should be doing and more on how he could offer up some justice for Epstein's survivors. You know, if he's so desperate for a smile. Also, he keeps saying this to Kaitlan Collins.
You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization.
Not telling the truth about what? She was asking a question about the survivors. She's not even offering up any statement at all. So when Trump claims that she's lying, about what? Does Trump doubt the existence of survivors? The reality is that there is one person who's not telling the truth when it comes to the survivors, and it's no one at CNN. It is the guy who's filled his administration with people who swore up and down to get to the bottom of Epstein's crimes, only to then serve as the sole impediment to exposing those very crimes. Again, nothing to do with Kaitlan Collins, everything to do with Donald Trump and the people he surrounds himself with. And let's be clear, that's not lost on anyone. I don't know who Trump is performing for, other than perhaps himself, but he has lost everyone on this issue. Here's what I mean.
I think it will get worse. I don't know. That's not information I have on any good authority. I just believe things like this tend to get worse. And there's a reason they didn't want these documents out. This is not, we're all clumsy. The whole thing with Pam Bondi. She's a kook and she's clumsy and she's bungled it. No, I think she was doing what she was supposed to do, which is, keep it from the public. She's bungled it. She's so disorganized. No, I don't think that's what it is. There was that whole incompetence theory. She's got a bunch of papers on her desk and she doesn't know which ones are which. And, the idea that it was like a Three Stooges sketch and she couldn't figure out what file had the Epstein files in it. Wait a minute. No, I think it was chaos by design.
The fucking Epstein thing is just
nothing but a hoax.
It's just I don't even understand. I don't get it. It is the easiest political victory. Like if you just
it is,
do
but
it
it isn't. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not supporting anything. Just be really clear, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But if you have relationships with all these insanely wealthy people that are going to be
hurt by this,
severely impacted by this, like this is the ultimate political football. Because I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know who the people are, but I've heard things. And if those things are true, you're dealing with some of the most powerful people in the world, some of the wealthiest people in the world.
And by the way, I just have to say for posterity, if these assholes are so upset with Trump right now like they claim to be, guess what? They've got themselves to thank. These dumb motherfuckers sucked Trump's dick for the entire 2024 campaign and glommed on to every single lie he sold them like they're 7 years old. And now that they've got the audacity to clutch their pearls, that the guy who Epstein called his best friend for a decade won't release the full Epstein files? Give me a break. They're clutching their pearls that the guy who called for mass deportations now is doing mass deportations in the cruelest way? What did these abject morons think was going to happen? And look, What I just said goes against my thesis that we shouldn't relitigate the past and all that matters is winning moving forward and we have to have a big tent. And that's all true, and I fundamentally believe it. But I just need to say that these manosphere podcasters own this, and I hope that when they watch the news every single day, they recognize the part that they played in all of this, and they carry that with them every single day and every single night when they lay their heads down on their pillows. And if they want to repent, that's their prerogative, but they better be willing to move heaven and earth, given their complicity in all of this. And finally, notice that Trump says this.
It's really a Democrat problem. It's not a Republican, it's a Democrat problem.
So he wants us to believe that the Epstein files are a Democrat problem, and that's why he won't release the other 3 million documents? If this was truly a Democrat problem, release the files that apparently implicate the Democrats. Otherwise, what's Trump's excuse? Why is he suppressing files that, according to him, expose his political opponents? Are we supposed to believe that Donald J. Trump is in the business of protecting Democrats now? Again, give me a break. The reality is that so long as Trump is in power, not only will we not get transparency, but the people who committed these heinous crimes alongside Jeffrey Epstein will walk free. And don't take my word for it, take it from the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche.
Look, we said in July, and it remains as true today as it was in July, if we had information, we meaning the Department of Justice, about men who abused women, we would prosecute them, right? We talked about the work that we're doing. That's why I said that. I said this earlier. There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing not to prosecute. That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse these women. If we learn about information and evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But I don't think that the public or you all are going to uncover men within the Epstein files that abuse women, unfortunately.
Which is so weird because take a look at this document that was just released as part of the Epstein files. From redacted to Jeffrey Epstein, thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty. But hey, if Todd Blanche says that nobody else was involved in Epstein's crimes, I guess we have no choice but to believe him. Am I right? And by the way, I'm old enough to remember when Trump's own law enforcement officials today said this.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
So, by Kash Patel's logic, guess why the Trump administration isn't going after anyone else? And frankly, it's even less surprising given the fact that it seems there are more administration officials and Trump orbiters who are implicated in the files than those who aren't. We've now found out about Howard Lutnick, Elon Musk, Kevin Warsh, Trump's new pick for the Fed chair, Trump himself. This isn't rocket science. Trump is engaged in a cover-up because he is protecting himself and his pals. He is doing the very thing that he condemned the Democrats for apparently doing. Projection, thy name is Trump. In the meantime, just remember that Trump would not be screaming, deflecting, pounding his table, obfuscating, attacking Kaitlan Collins if he had any semblance of a legitimate answer to give. His tantrum is him betraying his own culpability, something that he does on a daily basis at this point. So if he wants to see some more smiling, maybe he should start participating in a pedophile cover-up and start delivering the transparency that he promised.